What if I told you the way every time you tap, click, and swipe, you're part of a design journey that started decades ago? From the earliest code-based systems to today's immersive VR environments, interface design is the bridge between humans and machines. But how did it evolve from these old punch cards to systems that understand our voices? Today we're exploring the most significant milestones in interface design history. And trust me, some of these biggest breakthroughs were more than just tech. They change how we live and work every day. Hi, I'm Johnny, Doctor in Interface Design by the Bauhaus University, and this is Design Globetrotter. And today we're going to cover the main milestones of interface design history, how the way we interact with technology changed along the years, and what might be the next steps. But first, let's talk about what is interface design, shall we? Interface design is how we communicate with machines, whether it's a tap on a screen, type on a keyboard, or simply speaking to a voice assistant. Interface design bridges the gap between humans and technology. The goal? Make interaction seamless and intuitive. We all experience both ends of the spectrum. A well-designed interface feels like an extension of ourselves. But poorly designed one? That's where frustration kicks in. In the beginning, interactive computers was like speaking another language, literally. The first user interface were entirely code-based, relying on punch cards and command lines. You'd punch holes into cards to represent data and instructions for the computer to execute. For every command, users had to manually input a series of codes, no room for error. You had to be a bit of a genius to get a computer to do even the simplest tasks. Interestingly, many of the foundation principles for today's technologies were laid down even in these early years. Artificial intelligence, explored in early as the 1950s by pioneers like Alan Turing, was rooted in these code-based systems. Computing was evolving, but interacting with it was far from intuitive. But the real breakthrough came with the invention of the mouse. Of course, not this one, but this one. Developed by Douglas Engelbart in the 1960s, the mouse made interacting with computers much more intuitive. Instead of memorized commands, you could just point, click, and move around the graphic interface. The mouse was the precursor of visual interaction, and it eventually became essential for navigation early graphical user interfaces, or GUIs. The mouse is still relevant today, and it was a bridge that connects users to the world of visual computing. Graphical user interfaces, or GUIs, took everything a step further. The Xerox Alto in 1973 was one of the first computers to feature a graphical interface. This allowed users to interact with icons, windows, and buttons instead of typing lines of code. But it was Apple's Macintosh in 1984 that popularized GUIs for the masses. Suddenly, computers weren't just for experts, they were for everyone. GUIs combined with the mouse allowed for a more intuitive way to interact with technology, giving rise to what we now call WIMP model: windows, icons, menus, and pointer. This combination changed the face of computer forever. Suddenly, anyone could use a computer without needing to memorize complex commands. WIMP became the standard, influenced the design of operating systems like Windows 95 and Mac OS. And if you like our journey through the history of interface design, consider subscribing to this brand new channel to get more content on how design impacts our daily lives. Fast forward to 2007, and we see another seismic shift with the launch of iPhone. Touchscreens became the norm, and suddenly we could swipe, tap, pinch our way through information. Mobile devices became an extension of ourselves, allowing people to interact in the ways you never did before, without a mouse or a keyboard. Touchscreens introduced a new language of interaction, and iPhone laid the groundwork for what we see today in other mobile devices. Nowadays, we're pushing even further with augmented reality (AR) and virtual reality (VR), whether it's an Instagram filter or immersive game experience. These technologies are transforming how we interact with digital content. AR blends digital information with the real world, while VR creates entirely new environments. And companies like Meta and Apple with their Apple Vision are pushing these experiences into the mainstream. Even though VR feels futuristic, the concept dates back in the 1960s with the invention of Sensorama and the development of the first head-mounted display in 1968, the Sword of Damocles. Now we're moving towards Zero UI, where there is no visible interface to interact at all. Devices like Amazon Echo or Google Home allow us to control our environment without nothing more than just our voice. From vacuum cleaners, curtains, smart bulbs, we can control everything just using our voice commands, such as turn on Bauhaus lamp, change lamp to red, lamp daylight, turn off lamp. Can't be simpler than that. Zero UI or zero user interface represents the future of seamless, intuitive design, where the interface becomes invisible and technology adapts to us. Zero UI isn't new. The vision of natural ambient computer has been around for decades, but today tech is finally making it a reality. Looking ahead, the future of interface design is going to blur the lines between the physical and digital worlds even further. We talk about brain-computer interfaces that anticipate our needs, and a holographic interface that can replace traditional screens. The groundwork for brain-computer interfaces started decades ago with early experiments, and now we are on the brink of these systems become reality. As technology evolves, we are moving towards seamless, intelligent interactions that will change the way we interact with everything around us. After seeing how interface design evolved and shaped our daily lives, why not explore how design principles help us to navigate through the cities? If you're curious, check out this video about urban navigation wayfinding design. And since this is a brand new channel, consider support us by subscribing, liking, commenting, hyping, whatever makes you feel happy. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.